Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is CS Priyanka from CS Priyanka's Professional Classes. Today I am here with this video relating to MCQs on the topic company law. I named it as part 3 as I already uploaded part 1 and 2. Hope you have seen those videos, but in this video we'll discuss total 15 MCQs on corporate law. Hope you will enjoy. And please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel to get more videos. So let's get started. First question. The minimum number of directors of the audit committee in case of a listed company with 12 directors shall be. So they are asking about the directors of the audit committee in case of listed company. So first, I would like to say you that listed company can only be a public company. Means private company cannot be listed. Public company can only be listed company. So we called it public listed company, or we called it like public unlisted company in case if it is not listed. So listed company means obviously it is a public company and you have to apply that provision. That means how many directors is required in case of a public company. That is 3 directors. So answer is option B, that is 3 directors. But I would request all the friends or students to note down somewhere that the requirement of directors. You can write that for private company minimum 2 directors is required. For public company, minimum three directors is required. And in case of OPC, that is 1-person company, only one director is required. So though this is about listed company, so obviously it is a public company. So that's why, so minimum requirement is 3 directors. Next question. The power to borrow money otherwise than on debenture can be exercised only at 4 options given: board meeting, general meeting, either at board meeting or at general meeting, and D is resolution by circulation. Guys, I hope you know all this term, what is board meeting, what is general meeting and what is resolution by circulation. In case if you don't know, then you can get these videos or this topic from my videos from my channel. You can go through and it will be clear to you what do you mean by these things. Now the question is, if the company or the power to borrow money in a company, who is having power to borrow money otherwise than on debenture, means otherwise or in exchange. Debenture means, you know, whenever we borrow money on behalf of the company or whenever any company borrow money, in such cases they sometimes gives debenture in the form of securities or any type of assets in the form of securities. But other than debenture, if any type of assets they want to give, any body corporate wants to give any type of assets other than debenture to borrow money, that power is only vested on board. Got it? So that's why in the board meeting only the board of directors is having power, okay, to take decisions that to borrow money otherwise than on debenture. This decision can be taken only at board meeting. So the answer is option A, that is board meeting. Next question. A person who is a company secretary and a director of a company is. 4 options given. For first option, employee director, B, non-executive director, C, executive director, and D, independent director. So, you know, company secretary, if he or she is obviously company secretary is a position, full-time position, okay, cannot be a part-time company secretary. So he should be a full-time employee of a company. And if you think that he is also a director of such company, so obviously at the same time he cannot be a company secretary as well as director of the company. That is impossible as well as void. That means invalid. So if a person is a company secretary of the company, then second option is left, that he can be the non-executive director of such company. Non-executive means part-time director. So at a time he cannot be a full-time employee of a company. Okay, or also he cannot be a full-time KMP of a company. So that's why a person who is a company secretary and director of a company, obviously both designation is there, then he or she is a non-executive director. So the answer is option B, that is non-executive director. We called it as a part-time director also. Next question, the maximum age limit of directors in case of a private companies is. Four options given, 65, 70, 75 and none of the above. So as per Companies Act, the limit is like the minimum age requirement to become a director is 21 years and maximum is 70 years. So when the person will reach at the age of 70 years, he should retire from such company. So here also the maximum age limit of the directors in case of a private company is 70 years. So answer is option B, that is 70 years. Next question. A company can issue a redeemable preference share with a tenure of not exceeding four options given 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So I would like to say कि whenever we are talking about preference share or whenever the topic is relating to the preference share, I would like to say preference share are of two types. One is redeemable preference share, other one is irredeemable preference share. Redeemable preference share means you can redeem after certain maturity of time limit, okay, and that limit is fixed, that is 20 years. So not you cannot means only a company can issue such redeemable preference share not exceeding, means within 20 years will be the time, with a tenure of not exceeding 20 years. So the answer is option D, that is 20 years. Next question. Which company is not allowed to raise a deposits from public other than from its members, directors or their relatives? Four options given: public company, private company, foreign company, unlimited company. So actually only private company is not allowed or cannot accept any type of deposits or money, you can say, other than, means from the outsiders, other than its own members, means shareholders or directors or their relatives. So this is already mentioned in the provision of the act that others, public, foreign, unlimited, is having a provision. They can accept deposits with certain terms and condition, or they have to follow the provisions, but private companies having restriction to raise a deposits, okay, other than from its own shareholders, directors or their relatives. So the answer is option A, private company. Next question. Which of the following is correct in respect of a public limited company in India? Four option given. First option, business can commence immediately on incorporation. That means you can start your business immediately after getting the incorporation certificates or immediately after registration. Second option, no need to have more than two directors. That is applicable for private company, not for public company. First option is applicable for all type of companies. C, there is no restriction on remuneration payable to directors. Obviously restriction is there. Prescribed percentage is mentioned in the act, 11%. And last option is there is no limit on the number of members. Obviously this is correct, because in case of public company we know minimum number of member is required 7 and maximum is unlimited. So this is a correct statement. So the answer is option D, that is there is no limit on the number of members in case of public limited company in India. Next question, minimum number of directors in case of a private company. This is a very easy one, that is 2. In case of a private company, minimum is 2 and maximum is 200. So the answer is option B, 2. Next, transfer of shares in case of a private company is, four option given: freely transferable, restricted, prohibited, none of this. So friends, I already discussed, if you have already done my classes on the topic company law, you will see I have uploaded the features of Companies Act. There it is written that as per Companies Act, all the company shares are freely transferable. That means it can be transferred from one person to another, okay, from one body corporate to another, and it can sell, it can like buy back. Company if wants to take its own shares back, they can buy back its shares. So share is actually freely transferable in case of all the companies. So this is one of the feature of the company. So that is why the answer is option A, that is freely transferable. So here also in case of a private company or public company, what else? Shares are freely transferable. Next question. How can a director be paid remuneration? I hope you have done that video also about the remuneration of the directors, where I have mentioned how much percentage is fixed for the payment to all the directors, including executive and non-executive. So now let's see what are the options given. Option A is specified percentage of the net profit of the company. Partly by monthly payments and partly by specified percentage of the net profit of the company. D is monthly payment and C is all of these. So here the answer is obviously a specified percentage is mentioned in the act. That is how much total percentage we, as far I know, the 11% of the total net profit of the company you can pay to all the directors, including executive as well as non-executive. Okay, so answer is option A, that is specified percentage of the net profit of the company. Next question. What is the term for an independent director to hold office? So independent directors are those type of directors who can take the decision independently. These directors are also known as non-executive directors because they don't take the remuneration from the company. They get the sitting fees, okay, on the basis of their consultation or how much board meeting they are attending, on the basis of that. So this also I would request you to do the to see the video or do the class of mine, that is the types of directors or the directors many parts I have uploaded in my channel. There it is, means it is there on the topic independent director. So actually the independent director can hold the office continuously for 5 years. So after 5 years he can be replaced or he can be reappointed. So the answer is option A, that is 5 years. Next question. Who fixes the remuneration of the auditor of the company? So 4 options given: SEBI, board, CEO, CFO. I would like to say you that this fixation, this appointment of auditor and fixation of their remuneration is one of the ordinary business. Okay, because we have already discussed that there are 2 types of business, ordinary and special. Under ordinary only 4 items is coming, that annual return, appointment of auditor and fixation of remuneration, dividend declaration, okay, appointment of director in place of those who retire. All these, only these 4 are coming and rest coming under the special business. So here also, so though those ordinary business can be decided or can be proceeds by the board. So here, as per Companies Act, board is having that power to fix the remuneration of the auditor of the company. So the answer is option A, that option B, sorry, that is board. Board means board of directors of the company. Next question. Section 105 of the Companies Act 2013 provides that a member who is entitled to attend vote can appoint another person as a to attend and vote at the meeting on his behalf. I would like to say 105 explains that explains the topic proxy. Okay, so proxy means on behalf of someone. Now proxy is allowed in the corporate world, that in the general meeting the shareholder is only having that permission, that only having that power to choose any person or to appoint any person uh, who will give proxy on behalf of such shareholder if they are unable to attend the meeting. But only the condition is the proxy cannot speak in the meeting. They will only vote as per instruction of their shareholders. Now this 105 is telling about the proxy, which means actually who is entitled, the proxy is a person who is entitled to attend the meeting and to vote. Okay, and also such shareholder can appoint any other person. No means choice is there, nothing like that ki you have to appoint your own people, your relatives, your spouse, like that. You can appoint any a person, okay, as a proxy who will attend the meeting and who will vote on the behalf of such shareholder. So here 4 options given for proxy, representative member, shareholder and auditor. So the answer is option A, that is proxy. Question 14. Requirement of woman director in which type of companies? So actually woman director is required. It's required in only listed company, and in case of public company, if you talk about public unlisted company, there is some limitation of paid up capital and turnover. So here are 4 options given: private, public, listed and section 8. Section 8 means non-profit making organization. So woman director, at least one woman director is required in listed company. So answer is option C, that is listed company. Last question. Independent director is a type of. First is executive director, non-executive director, none of these above. So answer is obviously I already explained in the previous one of the previous slide, that is independent director is a non-executive director, that is part-time. They are not a full-time employee, they are not eligible to get the remuneration from such company. They usually take the sitting fee. Their tenure of office is 5 years, and they will attend the meeting, they will act as a consultant, they will take the decision independently, okay, without interference of the other board of directors or board members, and they are actually non-executive director of the company. So that is part-time director. So the answer is option B, that is non-executive director. So thank you.